Hey everybody, this is Dave here with Blue Bears Games. Today's video is actually quite different than the norm. I'm not going to actually be opening any product or showing any kind of decks. I'm actually going to be giving kind of a PSA or a safety thing for everybody. This video is actually made because a friend of mine doesn't know how to do this, and I just kind of wanted to give him an idea of how to do so. His name is Keith Lehman. He is the actual, I guess, owner of Layman's Terms. He's on my page as well. If you want to go look him up, he does magic stuff as well and other various things. So go check him out. But we decided that since the coronavirus has hit and we cannot go into gatherings, we cannot see each other, we still wanted to trade a couple cards. And so what I'm going to do is show you how to safely trade during the coronavirus through the mail, and how to actually package them up as a plain white envelope trade. What that means is, or a PWE trade, what that means is you're just using regular old envelopes to trade. This is not really looked upon as the best way to do it. Most people like to use bubble mailers, but that gets costly after a while, especially if you're just trading a couple cards that are worth nothing. So he decided he wanted some full swamps, so I decided I'm going to send him some full swamps and he'll trade me some stuff in return. And I'm going to show you how to go ahead and package them correctly in a plain white envelope setting so they get there safely. I've had my eBay site I've done for years, and I'm talking like 15 to 20 years now. I've done many sales over eBay's system and sent cards this way every time. Usually when I do this, it's because the values are usually somewhere between, anywhere from $1 all the way up to $10. Anything worth more than 10 for a single card, I like to go ahead and use a bubble mailer. But for the purposes of this, it's not even $10 total trade value. So I want to keep the cost down for both of us. So I'm doing this to instruct you on how to do so. So the first thing that I'm going to go into is the size of your envelope. So I have 6 cards here I'm going to send him. He's sending me 2 back. Okay, so normally I can fit 6 cards into an envelope safely without a problem with the smaller envelope, but for the purposes of what I'm doing today and what I'm going to do for him to show him, is I'm going to use the larger envelope. What that means is because there's 6 cards, I'm going to put multiples in 2 different cases, and I'll show you what they are. So we have a regular old penny sleeve. We use those. We use what are called top loaders. They are hard plastic. And then we have an extra layer of protection, which is a piece of paper that I've pre-folded to fit the way I'm going to show you in a little bit. But first we go ahead and show you, I put 3 cards. I usually put them facing each other instead with the backs out, and put them in the penny sleeve. Okay, it gives a nice little tight fit. And then what you do is you take your top loader, and the part that's open on the penny sleeve, you put towards the end, not in the opening. And the reason why you do that is because they can fall through the top just as easily as if there was only 1 card in there. So you like to take them, put the penny sleeves opening towards the back or the non-opening side of the top loader, and load them into the top loader. For the purposes of this video and for him, I'm going to only put 3 cards total into the top loader. Again, I've actually fit more than that into a top loader before. So you go ahead and squeeze them in there, and it's going to be a tight fit, and you want that. You really want it to be a tight fit. Sometimes what I like to do is I like to put my finger into the top loader and kind of stretch it out just the tiniest little bit so that you can fit them in there. So we're going to go ahead and put this in here, like so. And yeah, it's giving me a problem because this is a smaller one. So there are different size top loaders out there. Some of them are a little bit thicker by like a millimeter. So just realize it is kind of a pain to do so when you're putting them in backwards. And because you don't have any way to, the only thing you can do to solve that is take the top of the penny sleeve and fold it over itself, and then go ahead and put it in. Yeah, I've done this a million times, but of course when I go to record it, it doesn't do it for me. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and put it in there, do it safely. make sure you push it all the way in. Now, one of the things I want to stress to you that I don't do. Okay, so I got it in there. They're in there nice and tight. They're not going to fall out. A lot of people use tape. I believe one of these has remnants. I don't think you can see it. If you can, remnants of tape. I don't use tape for a couple of reasons. I don't tape them. That's what the paper's for, but I'll explain that part in a second. I don't use tape because some people can't get the tape off. It sticks. It leaves sticky residue. When you do go to remove the card, sometimes it sticks to the card. You can pull some of the, facing off. So you don't want to use tape for this method. That's why I use the paper. So that's just my opinion. Whether or not you believe in that or not, that's up to you, but that's what I go by. Alright, so I'm going to fold this over again, and then I don't really care if I mess up the penny sleeves. And what he's going to do is he's going to use the same method I'm using here to send stuff back to me. So I'm going to go ahead, and they're going in nice and easily this time. Slip them in there, and yeah, you've got your 2 packages ready to go. Now, there are 3 cards each in here. I don't suggest going above that until you've gotten some practice in how to get them in there safely without bending the cards. You do run that risk. So, now they're backwards inside the penny, or in the top loaders. The reason why I don't use tape is because I use a piece of paper. That adds a couple things. It makes it so the cards don't slide out. It also adds the fact that you get an extra layer of protection. A lot of people use cardboard. This is just one layer of the cardboard, so you can go ahead and put them in there. So I've pre-folded this just to save some time. So the first step you do is you put them next to each other. I'm using the longer envelope. For the shorter envelope, you don't have to do the last part. I actually use a half a sheet of paper for one single one. So you fold it over like so, and then you fold it over again. Make sure it's nice and tight. Get it all creased and everything, and then fold over the last layer. So you should have something that looks like this. Fold it over to the other side or whatever way you want to, and then because paper is too long, fold over another section like this so that you've got a piece of paper with cards in it that looks kind of like this. Turn it over so that it's flat, and just make sure you get it all creased in. I haven't put his or my address on there just for the fact that the video, I didn't want our addresses on there. However, I'm going to tell you this. Always put the addresses on before you put this stuff in there. It makes it a lot easier. I go ahead and take the part that's folded and make sure it's facing forward on the envelope so that it seals in there nice and tight. Throw it in there. Do what you do to lick the ends. Fold it over, and the extra part and the reason for the tape. I don't trust any system out there as far as the mail system goes, or I don't trust the envelopes themselves, so I always put a little extra piece of tape right here on the crease here, right by the top of the triangle, just to make sure that it seals correctly. Now, the reason for this method is another actual money-saving thing. So, this is at your discretion what you want to do. Most of the time, and in most places, like I've been able to get away with it in my hometown where I can do this and put just a regular stamp on here and it'll go fine. But a lot of them don't like to do that. Like the new place I live does not allow that. They have to put an extra cost on there. It's called machining cost. So what that means is whenever you send a piece of mail through the system, it goes through a machine and it can damage the cards. Even in plastic cases, I've had instances that I've seen, not actually had of my own. I've seen where it actually goes across the middle and actually punctures in through the plastic sleeve and puts holes in the cards. It's not often, but the way to avoid that is when you go to the post office, instead of just putting one stamp, if you go to the machine or you go up to the person, most people are probably going to go to the machine right now. You can select an envelope, but you can also select non-machinable. And it's like, don't quote me on this, I think it's like 15 cents more. So whatever the cost of a stamp is plus 15 cents more. It's been a while since I bought stamps. And you'll make sure that it's hand stamped for the mail instead of put through a machine. So you can do it either way, whatever way you want to do it. It's up to you guys, but that's the way that I've gone about doing it. So, and that's the way that I, have figured out a way to trade with plain white envelope to keeping the cost down. during the coronavirus epidemic where we can't actually go and see people. Hopefully this helps you guys. If you have any questions, please go ahead and ask them in the comments below. Go to the Facebook page that I have. It's Blue Bears Games on Facebook. If you have any questions, ask me there. And go ahead and share this out for people who don't know how to do that. So that's my way of trading during the epidemic that's going on right now through plain white envelope to keep the cost down. Thank you for watching. If you found it helpful, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up or a like. Share it out to help other people that need it. And enjoy your trading during the epidemic. Have a good one.